The Drop with Frank and Brian is officially brought to you by Switch Suspension. Switch Suspension specializes in all vehicle chassis components. Lift kits, lowering kits, air ride suspension, wheels, tires, steering, and brake upgrades. They use all the best products from the best brands. And these guys are truck guys. You roll into their parking lot at the shop and they all drive custom vehicles. So they use their products that they sell on their own vehicles. So if you guys are looking for anything for your vehicles, whether you're just starting out or you just need some replacement parts or whatever, give them a call or visit their website, switchsuspension.com.
Just want to let you guys know that we're announcing our next giveaway. We're giving away another Acura E-Level kit. Big thanks to Acura for getting with us on this giveaway. All you got to do is either go to livelifecustom.com or grinder-tv.com, and every $5 spent, you get one entry into the draw. Enjoy this week's episode.
Nope.
There
you go.
There it is. Okay.
How you doing?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually.
All right. Let me make sure everything's off and
recording. Yes, recording. Check. Yeah, everything's checked.
Recording. All right. Let's see here. That's recording. Okay. All right.
You're real busy this morning.
Like nothing.
Yeah.
And then when you were like, hey, I'm ready. I'm like, and then Brandon's like, hey, can you give me a better logo of this real quick? And like, we're recording this. It's Thursday right now. And tomorrow we're releasing pre-reg for our show. And I would like to have artwork for that.
Yeah, that was the plan.
Yeah. And so we're running behind on that, which I deal with every year.
Yeah. It's always the way.
But the artwork is so cool.
Yeah.
And if you're listening to this and the artwork's out, we can talk about the artwork right now.
Ooh, do you want to take that risk?
Yes.
Oh, you're going to take that risk.
Because I can just edit this out. So if the artwork's not out, I'm editing this out. If you're hearing this,
this didn't
exist. This didn't exist.
If the artwork's not done, this part didn't exist.
Did I already showed you the vehicles going on it? Or
no,
I haven't showed you anything.
No. I am completely in the dark about this.
Oh.
Yeah. I've been sitting at the edge of my seat just like everybody else has.
Okay, so what you're going to see now is just, I'm going to send it to your phone.
Okay.
Is just a super rough sketch. You'll see the vehicles.
Okay.
And actually, let me see if I can, what else? Oh, yeah. So there's two sketches I'm going to send you.
Okay. I'm so excited.
Because the first sketch is like the vehicles in color.
Mm-hmm.
And they look really good.
Okay.
I'm waiting. This
is and I'm not like lying. I don't know. This is the first time I'm ever going to see it. I'm very, very excited right now.
That's because I don't ever show anyone.
No, I know.
I don't share anything.
It's actually really fun.
Yeah. It's fun to me too. Because people get all mad.
Oh yeah. Yes.
Okay, and then this
so
is
cool. I don't know why I didn't guess these two vehicles.
No one did.
They're so cool.
Yeah, so this is now the updated sketch that he's working on.
Okay.
Do you see who that is?
Yes, I do. That's so oh my gosh. This is awesome. Does this person know?
No.
No
one
idea.
knows. No,
that
and
is
I
so
think
great.
so. This is like I said, if you're hearing this, I'll put these up we'll put the artwork. This is Roulette.
Yeah. It's Roulette. He's DJing. Roulette has DJ'd every single Forbidden Fantasy show
since its inception.
Since the very first
1998.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is
and
so
we've
cool.
never put him on a he's never been in the background of a shirt at all. And I'm like, why?
Why not?
That is so not cool.
Yeah. No, so that is so great. It looks just like him. It's got his smile. It's so great.
Yeah, and it's gonna have the Madhouse on his T-shirt, and
nice.
You see the beaver right there.
Yep, yeah, I see the beaver on the front of the truck. Because that's his thing. That's like sort of his mascot is Bucky the Beaver.
Bucky the Beaver from the
Which
High
is
Speed
funny,
days.
because he was calling that Bucky the Beaver way back when. Well, I mean, Bucky's has existed since 1982, but only has become relevant in the last few years.
Buck teeth, right?
That's I would imagine. Yeah, I would think so.
I'm now putting two and two together. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then you have sort of the other pseudo kind of like character that's developed over the years. Not intentional, I don't think, but it is the little coyote. He's
so yeah, these are all like desert animals type things.
Yeah,
and they've all lizards. We're kind of reoccurring them through this desert theme.
Yeah, I like it. I do. I love it. It is so freaking cool.
There's a story about the turtle in the background too.
Yeah. Okay. The one playing poker.
Yeah. So once it's all done, the artwork, I'll let you know what that is.
Okay. All right. Dude, this is so great. The vehicles. Let's talk about the vehicles. So we got Tony's Mazda.
Yep.
From Indiana. And I don't know why I didn't think these trucks are so freaking cool. Why didn't I think of them? I don't know.
And they're like been to everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
You know, so Trevor is the full size, Trevor Redden. From Dallas. And he's done so much work to that truck. You know what I mean?
It's amazing. Yeah. Yeah. The first time I saw it was at
Last Resort
last year. And it is super cool. Because his brother is a painter.
Yep.
Taylor. I'm sorry. Taylor.
We make up names here.
I know.
You are whatever we think you are, that's who you are.
I know. Sorry about that. Anyway, his brother's a painter. And he did the graphics on that truck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neither of those trucks will probably be at the show, which is fine.
That's okay.
Yeah. They were at the red one is the 30 year, and then Tony did bring his they did bring their trucks out in 2019. So
yeah, they did. Yeah. Trevor brought his full size out for the 30 year. It was at the 30 year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you just say that?
Yep.
My brain checked out.
It's all right.
I'm trying to take it all in. All this great stuff going on here. That's so great.
So this is the process I deal with our artwork is sketches, like an idea. So the idea of this one, like you can see the very first concept, the very first one was a bunch of people in the back dancing and stuff.
Oh, okay. So so I've got it backwards. So this one was the concept art.
Yes.
And then this one is going to be the final art. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the final art is way, way better.
Yeah. So that first one it was like the concept, but we thought it was too basic with those people in the background.
Yeah. And I don't know if it was just because it was just a rough sketch of a bald guy being a DJ.
That too. And do you notice that one, he has a laptop computer, and the final one, he has actual turntables.
Yeah, that's good touch. I like it.
Brandon's like, but he doesn't use turntables. I'm like, it doesn't matter.
Hey, relax, okay?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
okay?
Relax.
I'm not going to put a laptop as, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it doesn't
fit the vibe. That's not the vibe. The vibe is definitely some turntables.
Yeah.
You know,
hopefully this art's done, because we have to cut all this out if it's not.
Oh, I know. That would suck. Well, let's see. You know, it'd be another cool thing. Just totally brainstorm my mind. Because if you have Roulette, who has DJ'd every single show since the inception, you have Brandon, who has made every single show shirt almost since the inception. So that'd be kind of cool to maybe later along do something. And Brandon always comes to the show.
Yep.
You know, he always comes to sell the T-shirts himself with his workers and stuff. And it's always great hanging out with him at the show. That's like one of the little cool highlights, at least for me, because, you know, we're both screen printers. You get all nerdy about screen printing stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's
and
awesome.
watching his company grow.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like from what it was when he first did the artwork for us, it was Infinite Designs.
Yeah.
And they were basically just working out of a little. They were started in a garage, and then they worked their way up, and then now he's doing some big things.
The ad, and I've mentioned this before, but it's worth mentioning again. The ad in Grindr magazine of the Infinite Design shop, inspired me to start screen printing.
Oh, really?
It did, yeah. Just seeing that, like, and I kind of had a loose understanding how the screen printing process worked, but not really. But seeing the ad and then seeing that girl holding the ink bucket and a squeegee, I don't know. It just like kind of like imprinted on my brain, and I'm all, that's exactly what I want to do. I want to do that.
Yeah.
So Brandon has inspired me for a very long time.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right.
So welcome to the episode.
Welcome to episode 89.
8. Welcome to episode 88. If you're just joining us, don't worry about the conversation we just had.
I'm hoping it can get done.
We'll
That's
see.
why
We'll
I
see.
needed Roulette's logo. You don't have Roulette's logo, do you?
I do.
Like a high res of it?
Which one? The mouth, like with the tongue sticking out, or just like the one, like
I don't know. Do you have any of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do. Oh. High res EPS files.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't I just ask you? I called Doug. I was like waiting. You were like, hey, I'm ready. And I'm like, oh, let me call Doug real quick. Doug didn't have it. Let me call Jap real quick. He hasn't gotten back to me yet. I like didn't even think to ask you.
I can shoot it over to you. I just don't have the one where it's like the house with like really cartoony with the tongue sticking out and everything. And I don't have. Do I have Bucky the Beaver? I might have the Bucky the Beaver logo too.
All right, yeah. Email those over to me when we're done here.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Again, the keys. We hold the keys to all the art.
I know. Even Doug was like, "If you get it, send it to me."
Oh, okay.
It's so funny what logos are worth. I remember when we used to put all the vendor logos on our T-shirts. Getting those logos and was like pulling teeth.
Yeah.
Because you would get people sending you a picture of a business card, a low-res JPEG, all this stuff, right? So I send all these over to Brandon, and Brandon had to redraw a lot of these people's logos. So he has probably like every logo imaginable, you know, and so I can ask him for logos, but like if other people ask him, he's all no.
Oh yeah, logos are really like a I don't know, like I talk a lot about how like I'm really open about stuff, like about my business, about if you want to learn how to screen print or do whatever I do, except for that. Logos. Logos are like, you keep those close. Well, for two reasons. When someone comes to me and like has a logo done, that's their logo. Like I don't own it. That's still theirs.
Yeah, because that's what I don't think a lot of people know too. That's an interesting topic is, so say I commission you to do a T-shirt for me, and then I give you the artwork and you turn it into something, and you're going to charge me for that setup fee. You're going to charge me for that vector file. You charge me, it's my vector file.
Exactly. You can have it.
So if someone did T-shirts for you, if someone did business cards for you, get that logo. Get all your logos.
Oh, yeah.
Get your screen printing logo. Or your vector file. Get if you're doing embroidery, get your embroidery file.
Which is
you
different.
never know. It's a different file, but you paid for it. They're charging you to set that up.
Yeah, it's yours.
So
and they shouldn't really have to.
logo.
Sometimes they do because, like, again, it's like this really like, I don't want to say secretive thing, but it's like really like a possessive thing.
It is because they think
you're going to go to somewhere else.
You're going to go to somewhere else. Like I've had to ask RJ for our embroidery logo, you know, and he's like, what's up? And I'm like, well, the Canada guys are going to have someone, because it's just expensive to have RJ do it, ship it to Canada sometimes. So, and he's like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? But
honestly, I went through that too. Like I had to be told that as well, you know, like I used to be like that and like, well, no, you know, but then someone explained to me, I think it was you. You explained to me the same thing. To be honest, with you. But I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, because you're charging them to clean it up, you're charging them to make it nice, and there it is. Yeah. But I also think like it's still a problem, obviously, because like a lot of people who do screen printing and stuff, like, you know, tell me about that. But I don't think it's as bad of a problem as it was 10 years ago, because with as accessible as artists are, as accessible as websites to clean up art is. Now it's kind of, the problem has kind of gone down. But yes, back in the day, they used to hand you, the worst one I ever did was this, and he wasn't like an old dude, and I get it. He handed me a T-shirt and said, you know, here's my logo. And I'm like, but I made it work. I actually me and Angie like figured it out and made it work, and we recreated that shirt. So learning experiences.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely. It's always good to know how to do it, because you never know when you do have to do it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What with Fiverr nowadays, it's like
that's what I'm saying. Like
it's so crazy.
Yeah, you can have there are websites now, not only Fiverr but dedicated art websites. Like I use a couple where you just submit them the art, in under 24 hours you get it back, perfect, ready to go. And sometimes one time I submitted it in the morning and had it by the afternoon.
Yeah, sometimes they're super fast. We don't do logos on our T-shirts anymore. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, like vendor logos on the show shirts.
I never noticed that. No.
Yeah, we stopped doing it. I forgot what year it was, but yeah, we just put the presenting one on there, and then that's it, because it was like this thing where if you could be a vendor and then there's an upcharge to be on the shirt, or you just put everyone on the shirt. But then what happens is, I want to be on top, or I want to be the bigger. I want to be this. So I solved the problem by
just taking them off.
Anything.
Dude, dude, that's how you solve problems.
Yeah. Equal playing field.
Yeah, that's how you solve problems.
And it cleans the T-shirts up. Going through my old shirts, or actually Los from Sunset was putting all of his old shirts for sale on Facebook the other day, and I was going through, looking at the photos of them and stuff, and I was like, some of them, there was a Severed shirt, and it probably had 40 vendor logos on it. And I'm like, no, that's crazy.
Yeah, I get it. It does make it super clean. It does make it more of a like a everyday wear kind of shirt when it's just like the show artwork and the show name, and the presenting sponsor makes a ton of sense to have them on there, you know?
Well, and it's also one of those things back in the day, there wasn't not like everyone has Instagram now and all that stuff. So it's not as special to put someone's logo on like if I own a business, it's not, my business logo on a event t-shirt isn't as special as it used to be.
Right. Well, again, because like you're exactly right. Like with as far as social media has come, because like that was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, because there was no other place for your logo to go.
That was like
now it's
an
like,
accomplishment.
Yeah, now it's just like, oh, it could go on the Instagram page or the our show Instagram page. I will share the individual logos. Where before we didn't have that, so that makes
you
sense.
know, it's another interesting thing that is kind of like social media has gotten rid of the no need for is flyers. Remember how important flyers were back in the day?
Yeah,
like those were so important. And then like I remember back in the day, you know, everybody was doing it like 8.5 by 11 just copied, and then like really good shows would come out with the card stock ones, and like, and then like you can almost collect them. Like I had a collection of them. I don't know why. I don't know why I collected them all, but yeah, flyers don't make any sense. I remember a few years ago when one of the club members said, "Hey, when do we get flyers to hand out?" I'm like, "Why?"
Girl, never.
Yeah.
We used to make it a big deal, man. We used to, like 3 or 4 of us would hop in the car and we would drive all over Southern California to every shop and get flyers out. And then locally around the Inland Empire, we would go to like AutoZones and Napa's and see if we could put flyers out there and all that stuff. And now that's just not a thing.
Yeah. You want to hear a funny story of talking about flyers? So, I've had an interest, you know, everybody knows I've had a pretty interesting life and doing all sorts of things with my family and different businesses and stuff. And when my family had a tour bus company, they would take, they would have a couple buses and then take people from LA to Vegas, right?
Well, when you say that, when you talk about that, all I can picture is like 10-year-old Frank with a microphone standing in front of the bus, get like a tour, like this is Hesperia on the left. And we're driving by Ruby's Diner on the right. You're just like this little kid in the front of the bus holding a microphone.
That was actually my granddad. My granddad was the host, and my Nana and granddad. And then I thought you were going to say, oh, yeah, every time you mention something about buses, you're reminded that I still have the bus sitting in the yard.
You do still have the bus. We could start a tour bus company if we wanted to.
We could. Why not? But
we could do a tour bus company that drives around to old show locations.
And do tours of old show locations.
And do tours. Like we could drive by Lake Dolores. We could drive by Glen Helen and do little stories. Bob Hayes he pops up on a screen like you're at Universal Studios, like the actors do on the little behind the scenes tour.
Yeah.
He's like, oh.
But so we used to be in the bus business, and my mom actually used to do flyers too. And she used to actually like cut them out, like have one of those things where it's like a lighted box and then cut them out and like lay them out and stuff. And then I would, 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old, I would drive around town, and my mom would say, go in the store. And I'd have like this little speech, and I'd talk to like the store owner and be like, hi, my name is Frank Newton, and we have this tour bus company called Mallcroft Coaches. And then I would leave flyers in these businesses. Anyway.
Would you guys did trips like to Vegas or State Line? Is that what you guys did?
Yeah. So my dad would drive the buses, and he'd go down to LA, pick people up, and then take them up to Vegas or State Line for the day, and then take them back down. Dude, like pick up people here and there, and it was my family has done a lot of things over the years. From
very entrepreneur.
That's why I am who I am today.
Yeah,
I never had a real job.
It makes a lot of sense.
I don't know if I could do. I don't know. Anyway, that's a different discussion. Anyway, moving on. I don't know where we got on this, but moving on. The show. Well, again, if that's cut out, oh well.
Yeah, I hope it won't.
Yeah.
I hope it's done tomorrow.
Dude, I cannot wait. It's one of the best things in the world, being someone who has been on the show artwork, to have that feeling when, I don't know how you can describe to me how it was done kind of pre-internet, but I remember, just one day going on a Facebook, and then there it is, show artwork, seeing your truck on there for the first time is just like, it's an emotional roller coaster, because from my experience, like it gets posted, you see it, and then a flood of messages start coming in like, congratulations, that's so rad, good job.
I'm real curious to see Tony's reaction,
because he's not a very reactive person.
No, and he's just a very like standoffish, like he doesn't show his emotions, like, you know what I mean? Like
he's just gonna be like,
he's like, oh, that's cool, yeah, I deserve it.
Yeah. Of course. Duh. Why wasn't my other truck on there?
Why wasn't it me and my wife's truck on there? Oh man, I hope this artwork's done by the time.
But if the
comes
artwork
out.
didn't come out, Tony is not on the artwork. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, who's Tony?
Who's Tony?
I'm gonna have to edit the crap out of this if it doesn't.
Dude, if it doesn't work out, and
We're gonna have to edit like these. It'll still play, but there'll be beeps. It'll be like beep.
oh,
beep,
there you
beep,
go. That's a
beep,
good
beep.
idea.
Oh man.
Oh, that's gonna be
Okay.
fun.
Speaking of, this comes out
Monday.
on
Like they do.
Monday. Hold on, sorry, I'm getting my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
This comes out on the 8th, and then you're coming out here next week
Next,
for guest. Yeah, the 12th.
wait, hold on. No. Oh yeah, you're right. Oh, that's next
Yeah.
week. Oh shoot.
That's next week.
Okay. I'm gonna have to. Oh man, I thought I had 2 weeks. So the drop shirts.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
You don't have time to do them?
Well, I do. Yeah, I do. But okay, yeah, I'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. I don't know why I thought it was the 20th. I had it written down as the 20th.
You had it's the 12th.
The 12th. Okay. Well, I'm still coming out either way. Whether it be
Okay.
with drop shirts or not, I don't know. We'll see.
You got time. You could do it.
Yeah, I could do it. Well,
Yeah.
and that was one of the things, like, asked me how my week was going. This is the first week that I've been back in the shop like every day. And having taken, a bunch of months off because of my back and stuff, and it's been rough. It's been trying.
Yeah.
But I've been trying to get back into the swing of things, and trying to get Alan's was the first shirts I was working on. Our buddy Alan, aka Airbrushing. So I was working on those. So I'll figure it out. If anything, I'll have the ones that are pre-ordered.
If you do those, just keep going.
That's
as long as the pre-order ones, that's
Yeah.
fine. That would make more sense. Save a whatever. Anyways, what I was going to
ahead.
say is,
I'm coming out next week.
we usually don't say who our guests are going to be.
Right.
We usually keep them as a surprise, but this time we want to say who the guests are.
Yes.
And this will be a teaser because we need to get this out there.
Okay.
So when we're cutting teasers, definitely we could reshare this, but we want to have people write in questions, guest specific questions.
Yeah.
And so we want to announce who the guests are so people can kind of go, oh, I have a question for this person. Oh, this person, whatever.
I've always wanted to ask this person that thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So two of the guests will probably be pretty familiar with the people that listen to this podcast. And that's Will Freeman.
Mm-hmm. Who was one of our very first guests.
One of our very first guests. But since he's been on, he's actually started making videos again.
Yeah, it's so great.
Yeah. So
cool.
I'm going to talk to him about that. So if you have any questions for Will Freeman, specifically about Surface, about his art, or anything about his truck or anything like that, make sure to, what should they just send us a message on Instagram?
Yeah, to the drop Instagram, the drop with Frank and Brian, all no underscores, all one word, the drop with Frank and Brian on Instagram.
Yep.
Drop the messages right there, so they're centrally located.
Yeah, and make sure you say who you're asking, like, because we're gonna have 3 guests on here, three guest episodes. So make sure you say this question is for Will Freeman. And then the next one will be Panda Trevor.
Yep.
So that'll be cool.
Yeah, super stoked about that.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting one because it's like we both know him, but not. There's so much of his past that I don't know about or anything.
Me neither. I'm so curious.
Yeah, because we know Will's past, and we know Will's
Yeah.
journey to here. It's been pretty public, but we don't know Trevor's. We know he owns a shop, but we don't where did he come from? Why is he in this? Da 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 da. So if anyone has questions for Trevor about Panda, about
building trucks,
mini trucking,
being in the AZ truck scene for his whole life.
Yeah,
being in No Regrets. There's tons of stuff to find out about him.
Yep. And we're probably going to ask a lot of these questions too, but it's cool to get to see other people's questions because we might have
could ask it in a different way,
and we might forget to ask that. You know what I mean? So because we are good at notes sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And then the next guest that we're doing is Scott, and
Scott Nelson.
Scott Nelson, who owns Rev B Chassis Company, and they make C10 chassis. So he used to be with GSI Chassis for a long time. He's been involved in the truck scene what's that?
Was he's never really been in the mini truck scene, has he?
No, but he's paid attention to the mini truck scene. Like he was a very avid watcher of low life videos and and all that. He always tells me, he's like, that's the grinder TV that I want to see. Sometimes he'll send me clips. He's that's OG grinder right there.
Yeah.
And so he's definitely been like low key You know, he's got
Again, he's just been part of the Arizona scene for his whole life as well, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, we don't know. We're gonna ask him.
We don't know. We're gonna ask him.
He's all, no, man, I'm from Maryland.
But do you ever like know? I think he travels to LA to get his tattoos done.
I think so. Yeah,
so,
he's got some really awesome tattoos.
Yeah, so that'll be a good subject, like for you to talk about.
Everything.
Yeah, so Will Freeman of Surface DVD, Trevor of Panda Built Fab, and Scott Nelson of Rev B Chassis. So if you have any C10 related questions, chassis related questions, when is he going to make chassis for mini trucks questions?
No, he's all,
no. Yeah. All right. We'll have to cut that teaser down.
Yeah, no problem. This is my week, so that's my job.
Yes.
I've gotten pretty good at it. I gotta say, gotten better, gotten pretty good at it.
It's just about doing it and getting it over with.
For me, the hardest part was just unlocking the right, how to put it, like the right chain of events to like the right
workflow,
path, the right workflow. Yeah, the right workflow to get it done. And I figured it out. And and now that we have pretty regularly scheduled teasers.
Yeah, at least two. Two's good. Two's good because it consistently builds the Instagram for the drop where we want to.
Which I haven't really checked on. How many has that been? I don't know. How many followers do we have on that? I don't know.
I'll let you know. It's right here in front of me.
I screen capped because we're also doing some questions today. So I screen capped a bunch of questions that I asked yesterday.
We're at 1,078 followers.
That's not bad.
No, it's creeping up. You know what I mean? And
that's not bad.
I think
we're just starting it from nothing.
Well, also these are like solid followers too. I think. You know, like. Even though when we post something, it only still gets like 40 likes out of 1,000 people, like which is super weird. But it's great. Yeah, I think the people who tune in and listen are awesome. We have really consistent people. We've made some pretty good connections. You know, not connections like in a business way, just cool like social connections, like friend connections. Yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah. And I like our regular. YouTube commenters, that's my favorite.
Oh yeah, they're the best.
Yeah, if you want to get on our good side, comment on our YouTube channels.
Yeah, maybe we'll give you free stuff.
You never know. You never know when we're gonna show up at Jason Bacon's door with our podcast equipment. Right. Like, tell us who you are,
what's going on. He's from like the Midwest or something. So
yeah, if we're ever in Indiana, we'll just be
Indiana.
Like knocking on the door, and he's like, "What?" He's ordered stuff from us. Funny. We have your address.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. We could very easily look at where he lives. Hey, man, what's going on?
What's up? You ready to record? All right.
But yeah, so we got some questions today. I figured we could just start at the top, work our way down the bottom.
Let's do the drop thing.
Do the jingle. Hit
ready?
The jingle.
Here we go. Starting, right? Go.
And drop.
Dropping in.
Drop in.
Drop.
I dropped everything. I knew the drops would come.
Drop it.
Done.
All right, cool. Welcome to the drop on the drop with the drops.
So many drops. All right, I did not read any of these questions.
I skimmed through them. They're really good.
All right,
so I'll read them off to you.
You're the question host today.
Yes, that's me. We're going to start off strong with our buddy Little Brian, Arthur Guinness on Instagram. It says, thoughts on vinyl wraps and show scene, not just on trucks, but cars as well.
I like him. I think it's a good idea.
I think they're cool. Some of my favorite ones, I think Will was doing it way back, like even before. I mean, wraps were popular, of course, because he had them. But like, I don't know. He's like the very first one that I remember doing something really interesting with a wrap.
The Christmas,
where he took,
the Christmas gift paper.
No, his Mazda.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that Mazda. So he had a Mazda. I don't know what model it was, but it was a Mazda like sport compact sedan thingy. And what he did was, he would just compile cool things he found on the internet, different like images and drawings and photos, and he collaged them, and he did his whole center of the car in that collage.
Yeah.
And that was sort of like my first, because I've heard of wraps before, I had seen them, but that was my first like real introduction into one, and I thought it was a really cool executed idea. And I also noticed that it's almost like a stepping stone, because a few times, not a lot, but I've noticed before, that people will put on a wrap, rock it, and then realize like, no, I want this thing painted, and then they take the wrap off and actually paint it.
Didn't Jap do that with his Charger or something, or whatever
he did,
the car that was?
He has I think it's a Charger. Or
I always get those Chrysler cars mixed up.
Yeah, it's the 2-door one, Challenger.
Yeah,
Charger.
like the Shark.
No, Challengers are 4 doors. Chargers are 2 doors.
Okay, it was like the P51 Mustang plane theme.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and now that car's painted.
Yeah,
that car's all painted in that theme.
The one thing people don't realize about wraps though is they're very close to the same cost as a paint job.
I actually just like found that out.
And
I didn't realize how expensive those things are.
yeah, and you almost need to paint your car, and then like if you say your car's in bodywork in rough shape, you have to get it painted basically to wrap it. You know, so there you could just do like a single stage paint and then put it over the top, but you're still paying for bodywork, you're still paying all that. So
yeah,
and the wrap itself is not cheap, and doing the wrap is not easy. So
I remember seeing on TikTok there's a couple guys who wrap cars on there. And they do these crazy ones that are like mirror vinyl and, you know, this really special black that's super black or whatever. And yeah, those are like, someone said that one was, they did a G-Wagon or something. It was like 10 grand.
Oh yeah.
To wrap this thing. And I was, and everybody was freaking out about it. But the dude was like, it took me, I don't know, however many hours it took him to do it. Plus the cost of this really exotic material. Like, yeah, it's expensive.
Yeah. And they don't last forever.
No, they don't. That's, when the Titan was in real bad shape, I thought about wrapping it, but I was like, yeah, but see, same crossroads. Like, might as well just paint it.
Yeah, yeah. It really is like it depends on what it is. But yeah, I've seen some cool wraps on trucks. Dower's truck's wrapped.
The green one?
Yeah.
No shit.
You didn't know that?
No.
See?
Wow.
And it's been really wrapped for. He got in the club 8 years ago. We were talking about this the other night, and it's been wrapped the entire time.
Wow. Oh.
Anyone
well,
Gucci's choice at the 30 year in Prim?
No way he won it.
Yeah, so he won Gucci's. I don't know if Gucci actually chose it or if they just chose it and put his name on it. But Gucci's a painter, so it's kind of funny that he won a painter's choice and it was with a wrap. So
see, everybody gets irony wrong. That's irony.
That's irony.
That's irony. That's a pretty classic case. That's really, that's interesting. That's really cool. I love his truck too. That green is such a unique green.
Yeah, but I think in Brian's case, maybe he's got that Frontier that he got from his dad or whatever. If you could get most of if there's dents on that thing, if you can get them like dentless paint remover and stuff, and then wrap over that, you'd be good to go.
But again, like for a little bit more,
but
we have access to painters who can paint it.
But if it's the factory paint and the paint's not perfect, you see what I'm saying? So if your truck's like,
oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
A wrap would be, you're almost okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It would make sense in that case.
Yeah.
Because you could also, if you want, like I know Brian, he does a lot of things himself. So if you are capable of doing it yourself, you save a lot of money too, because the vinyl is not super expensive.
Yeah. You know one I don't like, and I'll put it out there, is when they do the rusty wraps.
Oh yeah.
I do not like that.
I do not like that.
I do not like that. That is not cool, I don't think.
Faux-tina.
Fake. I have some pretty strong opinions about faux-tina in general.
Yeah, like when you make the truck, like when you paint it patina on purpose. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No, it's a weird thing. It's definitely has its place, but it's a very small place.
The only one I will give a pass to, this is what I'll give a pass to as far as that faux-tina paint, is when you have like a rusty patina truck and it's like, say the bottom of the cabbage is gone and you have to repaint. Yeah. Like that I would say is the pass.
Yeah, but taking something from bodywork to paint and painting rust on it.
Yeah, that's not my jam. Anyway.
All right.
Hope that was good. Mick underscore up. Yeah, Mick up trucks Mick underscore up underscore trucks. Oh, ask this quite often. When are you guys coming to Australia? I don't know, man. Someday.
Yeah. I'm trying to get to Japan. Shingo hit me up with his show dates and stuff for their show
for this year.
Yeah, and so me and Chelsea, I'm like, do you want to go?
Dude,
she's like, I do want to go. I'm like, yeah. So I'm trying to figure that out. So, but Australia is definitely on that list of places that I need to go back to.
Yeah, and I need to go to, period. Like, I really want to go. So
yeah,
we'll get there someday.
We will. And if we do, it'll probably be going to East Coast Cruise. That's the one that I would go back to.
Yeah, that was the one. That's the one that I've always kind of like, when I picture going there, I picture going to that show.
Yep. And then
for sure
doing touristy stuff.
Yeah. Bacon. Our buddy Bacon. Buddy Bacon, when we come over to your house, we'll answer this one in person. Who's your dream podcast guest location? I don't have a particular person that I want to anybody. Like, we're going to sit down with, Panda and all these guys next week, and it's going to be awesome. But I would really like to do like something like a musician or something, like not really to do with the truck scene or anything, like a musician. We kind of touch that with Chris a little bit, an artist, even though he's still involved in the automotive industry.
That a musician would have to cross reference into the car scene though. You have to, because you can't. This isn't a music podcast.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so if we wanted to start a music podcast, good.
What about if we had Steve Caballero on here? He's a music guy, a car guy, and a skateboarder.
That's what I'm saying. Like it has to be truck related or vehicle related somehow. The conversation doesn't have to be all about the vehicles. But if you just have this musician that isn't into vehicles at all, it wouldn't make sense.
That makes sense.
It would, because what would we talk about? We talk about music, right? That which is great, but we still have to have that.
Yeah, I guess so.
I
was just thinking like a cool artist, like, or like a cool photographer or something. Like, I don't know if you know who Atiba Jefferson is. So he's a really, really well-known skateboard photographer. I would love to sit down and talk to that guy. That's
a personal thing with you though, because there's personal things that people that I would like to sit down and have conversations with, but on this specific podcast,
it makes sense.
It would have to be like Jerry. Like we could get Jerry. Like if we ever were in Northern California, we could sit down with Jerry.
Yeah,
and which now that I'm thinking about it, I can add him to the list because he would definitely be willing to do it.
I think he'd be down.
Yeah, and he's musician and he's toured the world. And he's into cars, and he's got his own car Instagram, which is called Drive Culture. And like, same with Caballero, same with like Travis Barker. You know what I mean? Like people like that. I think that would be cool.
That would be cool.
Where the topic is not specific trucks or vehicles, but also like, what else do you do?
Well, then that's it. We're gonna have Travis Barker, Steve Caballero,
Jerry Horton.
Like that's it. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, we figured that out.
Let me pencil those in.
They're gonna go.
Let me see if they want to drive out to Arizona next week when you're out here.
Right. Hit up Cab and ask him. Actually, you know what? Oh, his band is gonna play at Havasu Meltdown this year. Urethane.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's all fitting together.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask him.
Well, that's the thing. You could just message these people on Instagram and ask them.
That's true.
It is. I look at some of these other podcasts that get these guests on there, and I'm like, oh, all they did was reach out and ask.
Yeah.
It's not like where you have to pay them or anything for an appearance or anything. It's just it's like, hey, we have this podcast. Here it is. If we would like you to be a guest, and if they say yes, yes. If they say no, no. But
let's do that. Let's take some. Let's email Travis Barker. Let's take some risk. I'm filming with Dan on Saturday morning, so I'll just get his phone number from Dan. That's true.
Yeah, and I'll just text him.
Yeah, there's too many connections. Like you could just ask Brent, right? Isn't he friends with him? Yeah. So I think our realm of possibility is a little larger than we think it is.
I would not be nervous sitting down with like Jerry, because I've sat down with Jerry and filmed him before and hung out with him before. I would be nervous sitting down with someone like Travis.
Yeah, me too.
Because you're like, it's not that it's because it's just you just don't know him. Like you're like, okay, it almost be like I'm out of my league type thing. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I would be out of my league with Jerry because I've interviewed him before. But when you don't know someone at all, you're just like, wait, is this too much? Is this too big for me?
I don't know.
Maybe we would sit there and be like,
hey, so
yeah,
it'd be a 20-minute podcast.
Oh man,
do you remember going to the Forbidden Fantasy show a long time ago?
Yeah.
No, not really. Oh,
all the things we've ever said about him are lies.
Yeah, right. Anyway, so that was a good question. Thanks, Bacon.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a really good question. We should think about that one more.
Yeah.
But doing these guests with like Scott's going to be a good one. How we talked about like not knowing someone. You don't really know Scott.
Yeah.
And I know Scott a little bit, but like we should start paying attention to how we interact with these guests. So when
build up. So when we do interview Travis Barker, we're prepared.
When we leave the minions behind and or the peasants behind and just do rock stars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We're just going to become a rock star truck podcast.
Yeah. And then we'll be way too cool.
Because if you think about it,
way too cool for any of our friends.
I mean, if you think about it, you could, because like the connection, like we're like, well, no, you're like, you're good friends with Dino.
Mm-hmm.
Dino knows Howie Kendrick, who's a baseball player. We could interview him and talk about C10 trucks.
Yeah. All this is in the realm of possibility.
Yeah. It's not. Yeah. That's what I think. That's the point that I'm trying to make. It's not like a super crazy actually idea. It kind of could work. Anyway. It could. Because Bacon's next question is, man, Bacon asked like 3 questions. His next question is, will Panda be on the podcast? Yes. We just talked about that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Then he well, okay, let's skip over.
Let's skip Bacon.
We'll come back.
We'll
to
come
you,
back
Bacon.
to Bacon.
We'll come back to you. Sever Ties Abel. When is the Oliver Porter podcast happening? That almost happened.
Twice it's almost happened, but Oliver keeps skipping town.
Yeah.
So,
does he still do that? Is he still a flight attendant?
No, he runs his roofing company now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, his dad owned a roofing company called Porter Roofing.
Oh, okay.
And now Oliver owns it. So, he went from not knowing really much about roofing to being thrown right into it.
To just being a roofer. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, when we finally sit down with him, we could talk about it.
He's actually going up to Portland for a Portland, is it the Trailblazers basketball game? Yeah, he's going up there.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, I know. And then it's the first time he was out of town too or something. I don't know, but we'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. S_10 kid asks, last week y'all said you would like to go to different shows. How about Attitude Check in Virginia? I've heard of that show. I don't know too much about it.
I have heard about it too. Yeah, I was going to actually talk to you about that, about new shows.
Okay.
Attitude Check. Yeah, send us more information on it. The more information we have about stuff, even if we never go, at least we know all the information of where
and
it's at.
And we can talk about it.
And we can talk about it. Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what we're here to. We're here to kind of like keep on spreading that information.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Remind me after this on our post podcast to talk about what I'm talking about now.
Okay.
All
right. So next we have our buddy Georgie from the club. This is a good question. We've kind of like touched on it before, kind of danced around it.
Yeah.
But this is a good question. Do you still enjoy going to car shows, or is it more of an obligation, asking for a friend? I wonder if, because obviously when you're asking for a friend, you're asking for yourself. Georgie, do you not like to go to shows anymore?
Yeah, because you don't go to anything.
Damn, burn.
Dang,
dude.
Burn. Just kidding. I hope you go to Rolling in the Red Rocks again. That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun when him and his brother came out to Rolling in the Red Rocks.
I do. I love going to car shows still.
Me too.
In fact, Art of Noise is having their show out here. Bring the Noise.
That's right.
And I'm not making a video or anything. I might make a video. I don't know. But I went to their last one they had was like 2019, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And or maybe it was 2020. I don't know what it was. But yeah, sometimes I just enjoy going to the show, sitting in the booth, and not doing anything.
Yeah, you mentioned the last one that you went to was just you and Nick were vending. Yeah. And just chilling, hanging out.
Yeah,
I missed that show. That was a fun show. You know, now the thing with me is like, and this, I know this is an excuse. I know this is an excuse, but I'm just working so hard to gear up for all the trips that I really can't break away to get out to do that. But I miss that show. That show was a lot of fun.
It is an excuse because you could just it'd only take you a day, 2 days to drive out and drive home. But
I know
it's all right because excuses are. I mean, that's just it is what it is.
One of the two of the best trips that I've ever taken was one following you out there. It was you driving your blue OBS, Chris Kudo driving his black 63 truck. And Brent took his Cadillac out there that time. That was so much fun. And then the next time was I took the 4Runner out there for the first time, and I went out with you guys in the club, and that was sort of my first experience like hanging with the club.
Was that when Joey told you that your 4Runner was a piece
that
of
was
crap?
Where the shitty 4Runner came from. And I'll tell that story real quick because it's hilarious. Yeah. Because he brought his 4Runner. Bubba towed it out. I drove mine out, and mine was still brown. It wasn't painted, but it was bagged. And we're sitting in the parking lot, and he's looking at
the Red Roof Inn behind
Santeese's,
where we always used to hang out at for Bring the Noise. It's one of my favorite times.
So Joey's looking at my truck and he's like, "Man, this is cool. I really like it." He's all like, and Joey's at that time was just like a year out of being at SEMA, so it was really nice. And he's like, man, I miss my 4Runner like being like this, all shitty. And ever since then, that was the day the shitty 4Runner was born. So I always nickname it the FFF 4Runner.
Yeah.
But its actual nickname is the shitty one.
Yes. It was so funny.
It was great. So those two trips were super memorable for me.
When it
So I
comes
miss
to
that show.
when it comes to shows too, the going to the shows is now a job. So I like almost going to the smaller shows versus the bigger shows, and I think that's why I enjoy Severed in the Southwest, Bring the Noise, even when Forbidden, when we had it at the River Lodge, versus like LST, Mini Nats, Dino's, because I could go to a smaller show and just set up and not get too crazy with my booth, but Dino's is like so much income, and
right,
and all these you rely on them for so much part of your income, that that's part of your job. But yeah, so the smaller ones is really what I like.
That's why I like going to Vic's events, the Neptune's Net Cruise, the end of the year cruise, Dockweiler and stuff, was like just because it was just chill, just go cruise down there, hang out. I never really had a booth in any of those shows, and just chilled, made some content, hung out.
It becomes like the journey of going to car shows. When you first start out, you go to this event, whether you go with a buddy or whatever, and then you're like, oh, I want to do this, and then you figure out how do you do it. Like you either go get a truck or you make friends with the people there, and then it becomes a thing, and then it becomes like an every week, and then you want to do it, and you want, and then years and years and years and years pass, and you do it less and less. Some people do it less, some people do it more. And then some people make careers out of it like we did. And then, I don't know, it's just this weird journey that each individual has, but getting back to the roots of just going to a show, parking your truck and hanging out is like, that's why we did it with the 30 year like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I just saw it. Jose posted up about resolutions coming up in a couple of years, which we can talk about later, but Jose and Erica, their brand is called Ride and Low, and their theme is go to a show. And I always love it when they post stuff and just say go to a show. You know, like it's a really simple mission statement, but it does.
It's why we are all here where we're at now.
Yeah,
because we went to a show.
Hung out and decided what we were gonna do.
It started the journey.
Yep. So yeah, I love going to shows. Sometimes I do like again, the bigger shows when it's a lot of like work, you do drag your feet, but at the end of the day, it's still fun. So
yeah.
There you go, Georgie. Hope you go to a show, George.
Yeah, go to a show.
We're winding it down here. Tanner asks, where the hell has Dwight been? I want to know that. He's been missing in action. I don't know. We'll see.
He's doing his thing.
Doing his thing. Has to be the right set of circumstances
for Dwight to come out.
Yeah. Our buddy John. Canada. Yeah. He just said nothing. Ask. Just excited to see you all this year. Cool. Yeah, me too. So they're him and Jen are like thrashing on his truck to get it done for Mini Nats.
Yeah.
So I cannot wait to see that truck. It's going to be cool. They just got it base coated, and I think they're going to start the graphics soon. So
it's going to be very bright.
It's going to be very bright. The thing that I like about it is because he's got it's an LS swapped, and it's also twin turboed, and he has the turbos in the bed.
They're exhaust turbos.
Yeah, exhaust turbos. Yeah. And so when he like tilts the bed, it has this really cool exhaust setup. Looking forward to seeing that. Everybody's home today, so the chaos is about to begin. The kids are home. Angie's home. Everybody's home today.
They all walk by and stare in the office like, "What's Frank doing?"
I know.
Thinks he's so cool recording his podcast.
No, they do not think that at all.
No, that's what they think you think.
Oh, that's what
they're like.
Yeah,
look,
definitely.
Frank being cool with his podcast.
He's all cool.
Did you tell Angie about our idea for our 100th episode yet?
I did. She's on board.
Same with Chelsea. She's like, nah. Okay, but whatever.
Hold on. Yes. Yeah.
We're recording in here.
She can't hear you.
I know.
Yeah, she's the same way. She's just like, It's a great idea.
It is. It will
And we
be.
should stop talking about it because we're not supposed. It's supposed to be like completely out of.
Oh, shh. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Next question. Panda, who we're gonna interview next week. How do you feel about Underglow making a comeback?
Love it.
I think it's super cool.
I'm doing it with the Tacoma.
I think in the early 2000s when it was sort of like coming out, Fast and the Furious, all that Underglow stuff, it quickly lost its novelty.
Yeah.
But something about this like new generation of it, I think it's because the lighting is better, like crisp LED, being able to change the colors on it.
And you can't see the lights when they're off.
Yes.
Like there's no big tubes or anything like that. The installs are a lot cleaner, and yeah.
I think they're cool because that was the one thing that I didn't like about back in the day is they looked fuzzy. Like it was lit up, but it was like fuzzy.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, me and Carl were talking about this because we're both doing pretty similar stuff on both of our trucks.
Oh,
I
cool.
want my truck to glow like a UFO when it's like I always this dark street between me and the city down there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have these bright white lights in each fender well I want them to shoot down and out on the mountain, and then in the front of me is gonna have my headlights, and I'm gonna have some custom fog lights made for the front, and I just want this like a circle around me. So
yes.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
dude. My inspiration is Milan. His truck is
Yep.
so cool. Like we were cruising around San Luis Obispo a couple years ago at the Slowdown show, and it was just so rad. It's exactly that. It's a freaking just UFO hovering around town, and then how he just pulls up to a spot and lays it out, and just it just. And I get it. Like it's also his personality too that you get attracted to. But it's just so much fun. It just seems fun. So
picture your truck just with blue LEDs, just like buzzing down the street, like in the dark desert. Like with imagine it from the sky, like a drone shot looking down, and you just see light.
That'd be cool,
shooting off to the sides and the front and stuff. So,
yeah, I like it. Yeah, I'm down for it. We'll ask him next week how he feels about it. He's probably like, I hate it.
He's like, it's stupid.
It's dumb. Let's see. K5_Blazin77 asks, is a body K5 Blazer meet criteria to be shown at the FFF show?
I'm actually might do like a little live tonight on the Forbidden Instagram.
To kind of explain.
Yeah, because I get a lot of these questions. And that's a 100% what we're looking for. It's hard to, when I say like, this is a mini truck show, please remember that as you're registering.
Yeah.
I get questions like, oh, well, I don't have a mini truck, and I'm like, no. It's like hard to explain mini truck style,
right?
I had a guy.
Is it bagged? Is it low? Is it?
That's
cool?
the thing, because it could be bagged. It could be on hydraulics. It also now could be static.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
it's
just not a street truck style show where you have like full size trucks, big wheels. Performance based show, I guess. I haven't figured out the right words because I remember I said it a long time ago with the no donks and stuff. I got myself in all kinds of trouble.
I know, and the new donks have kind of become those trucks.
Yeah, and then
let's call them what they are. They're takeover trucks.
But then there are some in that scene that are super rad. Like the one that won best full size last year at the River Lodge was like,
that's right.
He wasn't a mini trucker. He was that,
but he wasn't a takeover guy either.
No, but he was more of that than
That's
a mini
true.
trucker. Like,
I know it's really interesting.
Like if you take the takeover scene and you cherry pick the dope trucks out of there, then those are mini truck style.
Yeah,
they're just not mini truckers.
Right.
So definitely body drop K5 Blazer, super sick. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah.
If you're laying your body on the body of your vehicle on the ground, car, truck, whatever, that's what we're looking for. But you don't have to. The body doesn't have to lay. It's one of those things.
You should do something funny like, I don't know, just like props. Like this is
with a stick. With a stick, I'm all this like I'm teaching a lesson.
Yeah, this is what we don't want. It's all,
yeah.
This is what we want. Ding.
And I use real cars, so people are like, oh.
The guy who gets an X is just watching. He's like, oh, wait a minute. But yeah, that sounds super cool. Our buddy Tyler from Canada, 720 Tyler, has this turned into a therapy session for Frank? Yes. Just kidding. I can't think of anything. Well, thanks for contributing. This is a good one. Our buddy Jordan from No Regrets. I just got a
You got a camera.
I just got a Canon Rebel T100. Was wanting to know what are some pointers for beginners. That'd be your department.
I already sent him the message on Instagram.
Oh, you already told him?
Yeah, we already talked.
Oh.
Pointers is just to find things you like and then try to recreate those things.
Yeah, we've talked about that a lot before.
Yeah, it is what it is because there's when it comes to a camera, they're all the same. So it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? You just got to find the videos that you like or find what you want. Like, oh, I like that style of photography. Mm-hmm. And then figure out how to do that style and then put your own twist on it. And same with videos and stuff.
Yep. And that same thing with gear. So if you see a video and you're like, man, why, I can't get my shots to look like that. And they're like, oh, they used a gimbal. Oh, I didn't know that.
Or a lot of it's a lens because people don't realize that a lot of the really interesting photos are done with a long lens.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Zooming in.
And they're like, how do I get my photos like that? And they walk up to the truck and they try to take that photo. And it's like,
yeah.
That's one of the biggest things is just ask questions. Like literally,
ask questions.
If you find something online, if you see a photographer post something, ask them like, "Hey man, how did you do this? Like, what did you use? What's your focal length? You know?" And then just try to recreate it.
And I always said, like I've said this before, like it always sounds contrived, but watch YouTube videos. I don't know, Jordan, if you're on Reddit, but go on Reddit. There's a lot of subreddit communities. There's photography communities. There's outdoor photography communities. There's so much, and that's what we said a lot of times before. There's just so much information out there. Like it's there. Go get it.
Yep, and just do it, and don't be afraid to fail, and just like or make a crappy video, like
yeah.
Or take a crappy photo because you're not going to start by taking great stuff. And that's very rare,
Yep, for sure. So that's Jordan. I think we got one more. Tony X03, Mini Nat's 30th anniversary. Heard gonna be biggest year yet. Also my first time with my truck. What's y'all's?
You didn't read these questions before you just.
No, I read it. I read it verbatim. Let me do that one more time.
No, I mean you didn't pre-screen them.
No, why would I do that?
I don't know. Some people ask us some pretty crazy things.
I mean, I do read them before I say them. Like it's a good question. We just need to kind of break down.
All right.
Mini Nat's 30th anniversary. Heard gonna be biggest year yet. Also my first time with my truck. What's y'all's? I think all's opinion about it. Like I forgot it was a 30th one. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, how many pre-regs did they do? They did 1,200 or 1,000 or 700. I forgot how many they're letting.
Is that
in.
more than usual? Because I thought it was under 1,000 normally.
No, they're actually. Remember, that lot where we park the truck and walk in. That lot's going to be for cars now, for show cars.
Okay. Oh,
so
okay.
they're just going to
expand it a little bit.
They're going to expand it a little bit, yeah. So, yeah, it's Mini Nats is that thing. It's like I'll never miss that show.
Yeah, for sure. It is kind of funny that we travel literally to the other side of the country to do it.
Yeah.
It is pretty crazy.
It is. And it's just the whole ambiance of the whole thing. And, I always talk about it, but I want to slow that week down a little bit by getting there a day earlier instead. Because we get there, we dump the stuff, we get to the hotel, and it's just like we're just rolling into it. And then Sunday, we're bouncing out of there. So, like, it would be nice to get there the day, and we're probably going to do that since we're going straight there from where you're coming from. Just get there instead of Thursday night. Get there Wednesday night.
How's your how's your projection about getting a truck there?
I'm not even worried about it.
Just if it happens, it happens.
If it happens, it happens. I think when it leaves Pandas, that's when I'll kind of know a little bit more. Because I don't think it's going to need a ton after that. So I don't know. But again, if it doesn't make Mini Nats, then I've got Rolling in the Red Rocks after that.
Yeah.
And then my problem is then there's a big stopgap between like that and the next Mini Nats.
Yeah.
Where I wanted Mini Nats to be like special. Where I didn't want to like bring it out and bring it to a bunch of these shows and then take it to Mini Nats because everyone's like, I already seen this. It's stupid.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not the case. No, that's not the case.
No, but I might be able to like it.
Because
actually,
like even if it was that, and you got to next year's Mini Nats, it's still quite an accomplishment. And Glenn and Kim are doing it. They're taking their Accord out there this year.
Yeah.
It is a major accomplishment to take something from the West Coast to the East Coast to go show it off.
Yeah. I think by that time too, the motor stuff will be done. Which the motor stuff definitely won't be done if I get it this year.
Yeah, and that might be the thing. You might have a more rich experience taking it next year.
Yeah.
Than this year. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of bugs to work out between now and then.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just thinking out loud. I should really take my truck because there's not very many bugs to work out. I could take it, but whatever.
Well, if we can plan it right, like if neither of us take our trucks this year, then maybe we would have a better chance of planning it for next year.
Maybe
because it comes so fast. You know
I know.
what I mean?
That's I kind of stopped doing that with my brain. It's like, okay, maybe this stuff it just keeps coming. So if it works,
what's the biggest thing stopping both of us from taking our trucks?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, let's be honest. It's finances.
I mean, yeah.
Because if we both take our trucks, you have to tow yours, I have to tow mine. Mm-hmm. Now we're driving two separate trucks,
right?
And that's a lot of money. But you know, if we continue this year with selling some drop merch, we can utilize those finances to help get the trucks out there.
Yeah. So what you're saying is the more drop merch people buy, the more likelihood we'll take our trucks back east.
Yeah, this all comes down to benefiting us.
Well, and them too.
You get to see our cool trucks.
Wow, that's so self-absorbed.
I know. No, but I mean that's the reality of all this stuff. And you know what I mean? It's how we make our money is by selling T-shirts and all that stuff. So the more stuff that's on us to make cool stuff that people want to buy. It's not on us to get. It's not on us to get sympathy buys. You know, it's on us to make cool stuff to do that. So,
yeah, definitely. Okay, we'll see how it works out.
Yeah.
So that's all the questions. We ran through them. I, for some reason, thought I was coming out in 2 weeks, but I'll be there next week.
Did you really think it was 2 weeks?
Yeah, I don't know why. I had it in my calendar, but which is dumb because we're basing it off of Angie's Friday off, and she has to work tomorrow, so obviously it would be next week.
Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So that is the right weekend.
That is the correct week. My brain was just off. But
okay.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'll be there. I'll be there. We'll see you then.
I know. Last time you came out, it was 120. This time it's gonna be like 40.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like
that's funny.
I know. I was looking at the weather and I was like, oh, it's just like polar opposites. Yeah. Next Friday, like the high is 52.
Wow. Cool. Well, it's gonna be fun. I love doing all that stuff, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a giveaway still.
We have our giveaway. AccuWare. Go to our websites. Purchase things. We're working on new stuff for upcoming shows since we have 3 guest episodes coming up, we probably won't talk for maybe we'll stick a in-person one kind of in between maybe. Yeah,
and I think also if we have 3 guest episodes, if we have time to record an in-person one.
Oh, okay.
Also,
yeah.
You know, so keep the questions coming, keep topics coming, because we don't think about things until like the last minute to record these sometimes.
And to remind everybody who's been listening to this whole episode, if you have questions that you want to ask Panda or Will or Scott, drop them. Well, not here. Go to our Instagram, The Drop with Frank and Brian, all one word.
Yeah. And send us show information. Send us guest, like if you want to see a certain guest on here. Yeah. Let's get some suggestions for that. We're not going to say where we will do it because there's some people that we just don't like and we don't want them on here. Well, I mean, obviously. Yeah. People start suggesting themselves and we just ignore Once we have rock star guests on here, then we're going to start really letting our opinions fly because we don't really care anymore. We'll be to that level of like, oh yeah, we don't even need your guys' no, it's fine. Didn't realize how close we could be to all that, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway. All right, cool. Well, we'll see you next week. Later. Bye.